Doggies fans, all things Bulldogs. We'll keep talking about Matty Burton. A couple of things to get through. Thanks for everyone who's subscribed. Thank you to the nice comments and that sort of stuff, and just the engagement overall. 11,000 views or something. Not sure if everyone watched the whole lot, but anyway, I appreciate it, and hopefully you get something out of it. So, a couple of headlines. We saw the one about Fox Sports are saying how, Keary's going to angle for a retirement and yada yada because he's thinking about football because he's such a smart person, and the Roosters will they go for a Burton, and Braith says, and then the other three act like it's just a rumour. Oh, the Roosters, it's a rumour. They know exactly what they're doing. Don't you worry about that when they drop these little things. And then we've got, we've also got the Panthers, Burton to go home to his mates. What, to play centre? You think he wants to play centre? Or are they going to get rid of Jerome Luai? Or what are they going to keep Targo on and Tylen May? And are they going to keep old mate in the centres, Crichton? Who knows what they're going to do? Maybe they've got a plan for Burton to come back. I sincerely doubt it. So I really want to quickly talk about the Roosters. Why I always fear them, because they've taken so many Bulldogs and broken our hearts, taking, players like Mason and Anasta, even though Anasta, a lot of people give him crap. He was still a Bulldog and led us to a premiership. Who else? We lost Asatasi to South. We lost Nate Miles to the Roosters. Marco Millie to the Roosters. Who else is going to the Roosters? Renner for Tony went last year. He still hasn't played first grade yet. He might have played if he stayed with the Dogs. Not sure if Barrett wanted him. But anyway. I'll make the case for why the Roosters need to do more than get a medical retirement for Luke Keary if they want to get Burton. They got Tedesco on over $1 million, or at least $1 million. They got Manu on 700,000 or 800,000. Sam Walker's getting twice as much as what Flanagan was getting there. I think he's up towards 400,000 or 500,000 a season. You've got Tupanua, who's worth a lot of money. Hargraves is coming to an end there, so someone's going to get his money, probably Lindsay Collins. He'll need more money soon. Victor Radley's getting good money. Connor Watson come back on 200 or 300 or something like that. Verrills will probably head off elsewhere. Brandon Smith's on 800, probably more. They can't have everyone. And let it sink in. Oh yeah, they got what's his name? The young fella, Suwali. Suwali's on nearly 500 grand. Right? So let it sink in. The Panthers have got Targo and Tylen May. And those two players alone, who are setting the world on fire, cost less than Suwali, who's now also played Origin, or not played it, but been in the squad. So, what do you reckon his next contract's going to be asking for? They can't have everyone. They just have to go. If they have to struggle for a few years, they had a team capable of winning the comp for the last couple of years, but unfortunately injuries have cruelled them, and that's just the way it is. Your premiership window shouldn't stay open for every team. Now, while they understand how to play the recruitment wars and they'll never stay down for long, I just don't see how they're going to get as much value out of their cap, because they've overpaid on a couple of players, right? In my opinion. They got their SG ball players coming through that did well this year. Some stars coming out of that. You know, the Dogs, they got some talent coming through as well. They made the semis in SG ball, and unfortunately with the Dogs, they've had to keep dragging players up the line, which has weakened all those youth teams. They've actually got some good youth coming through. Keary's done a good job, and now Gus has gone out and created extra pathways with agreements with the Toowoomba Clydesdales and all that sort of stuff. We're going to get some value in our cap from young players. It's going to take time, but it will happen. Burton, the club that's going to have the most money in 2024 available for Matt Burton is going to be the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. So if he leaves, well, you know, he's leaving because he doesn't want to be a Bulldog. And if that's the case, see you later. But you know what? I think he wants to be a Bulldog. He looks as passionate as anyone out there. The guys love him. He seems to love the team. His dad wore the hat to the Origin. Can't get a better endorsement than that. You know, and don't worry about who's going to be the coach and all these headlines they're coming up with. That'll all be sorted well and truly before he's even allowed to negotiate. And don't worry, he will be consulted, as will his manager, as will his dad and his mum. His future will be well taken care of. And I want you to think about a lot of players that go, so they start with their development club. So let's think about three good players. Jonathan Thurston, Terry Lamb, and who's another? Kalen Ponga. So they started elsewhere. Although Terry Lamb was a Bulldogs junior, but he went to West to make a name, and then come back to the Dogs and stayed loyal to the Dogs forever. Thurston, from Queensland, played for the Dogs, then went to the Cowboys and stayed loyal to them and got numerous massive contracts offered to him, where he could have played finals straight away in some of those sides. Alright? And Kalen Ponga, Cowboys junior, offered that potential contract, similar sort of contract to what Burton was given at the Dogs, has upgraded twice. And it's been hard to keep him, but they kept him. Because there's a loyalty that lies with the club that gives you that first decent contract. Because it's hard for clubs that develop the player because they need to get value out of their cap. And when they're a spine player, a fullback or a half, it's very hard for development clubs to keep those players. And that's just the way the game is at the moment. So Burton, I believe, will be loyal to the Bulldogs, and the Dogs will be loyal to him in the contract they offer him. And I'm telling you now, Gus Gould would have been the first one to say, listen, you turn your back on that final year, you're worth more than $500,000. Check everything out, cross your I's, dot your I's, cross your T's, and come back to us. We'll have an offer written up, and it'll match or beat any offer that's out there. We want you to be a Dog for life. I'm telling you now, Matt Burton, he couldn't put enough money on it that he would stay with the Bulldogs. I think he's 1,000 to 1 to go anywhere else. I hope I'm right. I've been wrong before and I'll be wrong again. But the other flip side to that coin, if he doesn't want to stay with the Dogs, who've got all the money in the world to offer him and are on the rebuild, well, you know, we'll respect that decision and find a player that does want to play for us. But I'm telling you now, he loves the Dogs and we love Matt Burton. Go Doggies.